Okay, today I'm going to show you how to make a simple muskrat float with two conibears using a cedar fence picket or material. You can get several out of one picket, and I made clips myself. You can purchase clips, but I didn't have any on hand, and these are real simple to make. These are just some scrap galvanized stovepipe that I cut up and made. I'll show you how to do that. This is going to float a dowel through the middle, basically. You could even use a stick all the way down into the mud, and then as the level changes the water, it'll float up and down on this rod and won't float away from you. And both the traps are chained off to this. I had these little clips laying around. You can put a horseshoe nail and nail them right in, or wire them to it, whatever you want to do to secure them to the trap, because they will bounce off after they take off. But basically, you put a little bait in here, some lure, and you can even put bait on the triggers. I like to put it up in the middle here, and then a muskrat will crawl up on here and crawl through, and bam. So let's get to it. Okay, so take your square edge of your cedar fence picket. I make these 20 inches, but you can experiment with different sizes. While you're marking that out, mark the middle. I'll show you why later. 10 inches. Square that off. And we're going to actually need 2 more strips. I had some scrap I used before, but you can get several out of this. So we'll go, that's 20. We need the same length, so 40 inches. And square that off. So ideally, you'll be able to get a bottom, and you should be able to get, I believe you should be able to get enough. You might have to piece them together, but you get enough to make 2 out of one board, 2 floats. So we'll go through and cut this off and go from there. So this is for another one. Okay, that's the one I marked with the center, so I'll set that aside. And I'm going to move my fence over here. You can do this with a circular saw or whatever you got. But and I am going to set my fence at 2 inches. Look at that, I was right on. 2 inches, doesn't have to be exact. You can make it wider if you want. I just found that 2 inches is good size. I rip down okay, so I ripped down 2 pieces at 2 inches, and they're the same length as the bottom. These are going to go on like so. What I like to do is stand it up. This step you really don't need, but I like to put a little outdoor wood glue. It can't hurt, just to seal everything up. It really doesn't matter. And I will line this up here like so, and you could screw it, nail it, whatever you want to do. I got a handy power nailer, so edges are flush, and just hammer some nails in her. These are just brad nails, so I use quite a few of them just to, it's nice and easy to do. And repeat the same process for the other side. That's it. Okay, that's the base of my float right there. Now there's my mark I put. I'll use a hole saw. I'm using an 1.5" hole saw. Of course, it's got the wood in there from the other one, but we could probably get one more out of it. There we have it. So the hole doesn't really matter the size. Just you want to make sure whatever stick you're using to secure through here, that it's not tight and it's not going to get bound up. It's going to slide with the water level changes. So that's set with our base right there, other than if we want to put some kind of flotation on it. I have this from a dollar store, Dollar Tree, garden kneeling pad. They're $1. They got pool noodles there too in the summertime. This is probably a summertime thing. Sometimes they have them in the back room this time of year, but what I plan on doing, because I thought I had some pool noodles, but I don't, but I had this laying around. I'm probably just going to cut this in half, and I will nail, and then the other half over here, just to give it that little extra buoyancy to float. Oh, I had this was just a piece of galvanized collar, crimped collar for a air duct. It was just laying around. I wasn't using it for nothing. Any kind of tin. You could probably even use a coffee can. I'll make a couple clips out of this. There's no real specific size. I'm just going about 2.5 inches or so over, and try to, these are the worst crimp clippers to use, but they are so dull. They've been used so much, but they get the job done. I'll clip off these little crimps right here just to get them out of my way. Be careful when you're doing this. I'm not wearing gloves and this stuff is sharp. Hopefully you have a better pair of cutters than I do, because these are absolutely ridiculous. There we go. Oh man. Okay, then take it over here on my mini anvil, kind of flatten it out a little bit. If you have a flat piece of tin, then obviously you skip this step, but watch out for all those little burrs there. They're very sharp. And basically what I do is come in a little ways and cut carefully till you're almost to the center, but not quite. 2 on each side, and kind of line up the lines if you can, best you can. Do the same here, and that's it. And yourself a pair of pliers. Work your way so you make a nice, best as you can, bending that side up and down there. There we go. It's not pretty, and obviously if you have the pre-made clips, you're one step ahead of me right now, but I didn't have any laying around, and I had this laying in the floor in the basement here, and I said I don't think I need that for anything else, so there it is. So bend the 2 up like so. I got a little piece of scrap board here I was using. I think actually it's a little thick. A different one right here, something like this. You could do this with a pair of pliers too, but I got this little scrap wood. Pretty easy. Basically bending that over so you're getting that design there. And there's your clip right there. And I mean, these could be adjusted. You know, you can move them in, out, whatever it takes. You could screw these in, or I just hammer them in with these. These nails blast right through, and then I'll clip them off. I like to keep it in a little ways so the rat actually crawls up inside, you know, a few inches, gets its head in there before it goes anywhere. I'll just hammer them in like so, and that's it. I got some nails sticking out. Simply just clip them off. I'll be covered up with my foam anyway, so they won't be sharp Watch your eyes when you're doing this. Point them away from yourself. Okay, so that's one side, and I'll just repeat that for the other side. Okay, I got my other clip built here. Slide it back a little. Kind of eyeball it in the middle. Okay, so I cut these. I will, the width is just about perfect for these. Because this is just foam stuff, I'll just cut this lid here for from a coffee can rather, and just cut some little chunks of those. They don't need to be huge. I can get a whole bunch of them. And as you can see, I'm not making this thing pretty. It's going to serve its purpose, and it's going to catch some rats. So this will ensure that holds on there good. That's it. We get this together, throw the traps in her, get the post in the ground, bottom of the mud, throw some bait in her, and we're trapping. So I'll try to post maybe a short catching some rats with this once I get it out. See, that's on there now real good, and we'll go from there. I think that's pretty decent. Okay, so now I have them all screwed on. That'll help the buoyancy, help it float. Like I said, pull through there. Conibear's on here. Got your 110 Conibear. These are rusty. Now, I always put my trigger on the inside on these. So get it set up, get it under your stand. Set your trigger. That's it. That's stable. It's ready to go. Like I said, you can nail these or wire these. I put a clip and just use a quick release. That way I don't need to keep the traps attached to it all the time. And that's basically it. There's the setup.